Jakarta, officially the Special Capital Region of Jakarta, is the de facto capital and largest city of Indonesia and an autonomous region with a status equivalent to that of a province. It is located on the northwest coast of Java, the world's most populous island, bordered by the province of West Java to the south and east and Banten to the west. Its coastline faces the Java Sea to the north, and it shares a maritime border with Lampung to the west. Jakarta's metropolitan area has an estimated population of 41.9 million as of 2025, making it the most populated city in the world, and therefore of Southeast Asia, and largest urban area in Indonesia. Although Jakarta extends over only 661.23 square kilometers, 255.30 square miles, and thus has the smallest area of any Indonesian province, its metropolitan area covers 7,076.31 square kilometers, 2,732.18 square miles. Jakarta is the economic, cultural, and political center of Indonesia, and the ASEAN's second-largest economy after Singapore. It ranks first among the Indonesian provinces in the Human Development Index. Jakarta is an Alpha World City according to the Globalization and World Cities Research Network. Financial institutions, such as the Bank of Indonesia, Indonesia Stock Exchange, and corporate headquarters of numerous Indonesian companies and multinational corporations are located in the city, as well as the ASEAN Secretariat seat. Jakarta is one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities in Southeast Asia. Established in the 4th century as Sunda Kelapa, the city became an important trading port for the Sunda Kingdom. At one time, it was the overseas administrative center of the Dutch East India Company, as well the imperial Dutch capital of the Dutch East Indies. When it was known as Batavia, Jakarta was officially a city within West Java until 1960, when its official status was changed to a province with Special Capital Region distinction. As a province, its government consists of 5 administrative cities and 1 administrative regency. Jakarta's business and employment opportunities have attracted migrants from across the Indonesian archipelago, making it a melting pot of numerous cultures. As Indonesia's largest Muslim-majority city, it is known for its tradition of religious tolerance and pluralism. The Istiqlal Mosque, the largest in Southeast Asia, stands as a symbol of the city's commitment to interfaith harmony. Jakarta's main challenges include rapid urban growth, ecological breakdown, air pollution, gridlock traffic, congestion, and flooding due to subsidence and water extraction. Sea level rise is relative, not absolute. Part of North Jakarta is sinking up to 17 centimeters, 6.7 inches annually. Meanwhile, the southern part is relatively safe. This has made the northern part of the city more prone to flooding and one of the fastest sinking capitals in the world. In response to these challenges, in August 2019, President Joko Widodo announced plans to move the capital from Jakarta to the planned city of Nusantara in the province of East Kalimantan on the island of Borneo. The NPR approved the move on the 18th of January 2022. The Indonesian government is not abandoning Jakarta after announcing plans to move the country's capital, its planning minister said, pledging to spend $40 billion United States dollars, which is more than the cost to build Nusantara, to save the city in the next decade. The north coast area of Western Java, including Jakarta, was the location of prehistoric beauty culture that flourished from 400 BC to 100 AD. The area in and around modern Jakarta was part of the 4th century Sundanese kingdom of Tarumanagara, one of the oldest Hindu kingdoms in Indonesia. The area of North Jakarta around Tugu became a populated settlement in the early 5th century. The Tugu inscription, probably written around 417 AD, discovered in Batutu Muhammad. Tugu village, Koja, North Jakarta, mentions that King Purnawarman of Tarumanagara undertook hydraulic projects. The irrigation and water drainage project of the Chandrabhaga River and the Gomati River near his capital. Following the decline of Tarumanagara, its territories, including the Jakarta area, became part of the Hindu kingdom of Sunda. From the 7th to the early 13th century, the port of Sunda was under the Srivijaya Maritime Empire. According to the Chinese source, Chu Fanqi, written circa 1225, Zhou Ruko reported in the early 13th century that Srivijaya still ruled Sumatra, the Malay Peninsula, and western Java. Sunda. The source says the port of Sunda was strategic and thriving, mentioning pepper from Sunda as among the best in quality. The people worked in agriculture, and their houses were built on wooden piles. The harbor area became known as Sunda Kalapa, and by the 14th century, it was an important trading port for the Sunda kingdom. The first European fleet for Portuguese ships from Malacca arrived in 1513 while looking for a route to obtain spices. The Sunda kingdom made an alliance treaty with the Portuguese by allowing them to build a port in 1522 to defend against the rising power of the Demak Sultanate from central Java. In 1527, Fatahila, a Pasai-born military commander of Demak, attacked and conquered Sunda Kalapa, driving out the Portuguese. Sunda Kalapa was renamed Jakarta and became a fiefdom of the Banten Sultanate, which became a major Southeast Asian trading center. Through the relationship with Prince Jayakarta of the Banten Sultanate, Dutch ships arrived in 1596. In 1602, an English East India Company Ike voyage led by Sir James Lancaster arrived in Aceh and sailed on to Banten, where they were allowed to build a trading post. This site became the center of English trade in the Indonesian archipelago until 1682. Jayakarta is thought to have made trading connections with the English merchants, who were rivals with the Dutch, by allowing them to build houses directly across from the Dutch buildings in 1615. When relations between Prince Jayakarta and the Dutch deteriorated, his soldiers attacked the Dutch fortress. His army and their EIC allies, however, were defeated by the Dutch, in part owing to the timely arrival of Jan Pieterszoon Koen. The Dutch burned the EIC trading post and forced them to retreat to their ships. The victory consolidated Dutch power, and they renamed the city Batavia in 1619. Commercial opportunities in the city attracted native, and especially Chinese, and Arab immigrants. This sudden population increase created burdens on the city. Tensions grew as the colonial government tried to restrict Chinese migration through deportations. Following a revolt, 5,000 Chinese were massacred by the Dutch in Natives on the 9th of October 1740, and the following year Chinese inhabitants were moved to Glodok outside the city walls. At the beginning of the 19th century, around 400 Arabs and Moors lived in Batavia, a number that changed little during the following decades. Among the commodities traded were fabrics, mainly imported cotton, batik, and clothing worn by Arab communities. The city began to expand further south as epidemics in 1835 and 1870 forced residents to move away from the port. The Koningsplein, now Merdeka Square, was completed in 1818, the housing park of Menteng was started in 1913, and Kebayoran Baru was the last Dutch-built residential area. By 1930, Batavia had more than 500,000 inhabitants, including 37,067 Europeans. The city was expanded in 1935 through the annexation of the town of Meester Cornelis, modern Jatinegara. On the 5th of March 1942, the Japanese captured Batavia from Dutch control, and the city was named Jakarta under the special status that was assigned to the city. After the war, the Dutch name Batavia was internationally recognized until full Indonesian independence on the 27th of December 1949. The city, renamed Jakarta, was officially proclaimed the national capital of Indonesia. After World War II ended, Indonesian nationalists declared independence on the 17th of August 1945, and the government of Jakarta City was changed into the Jakarta National Administration in the following month. During the Indonesian National Revolution, Indonesian Republicans withdrew from Allied-occupied Jakarta and established their capital in Yogyakarta. After securing full independence, Jakarta again became the national capital in 1950.